Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I miss you. I wish we were together, um, but we're not going to be, so we're going to finish the year strong and we're going to just keep going here. So I have today's lesson is Friday, April 24th. Can't believe it's the end of another week. Even though we're home, it sure does seem to go by quickly. So today's lesson, you will need pages 699 and 700. So those two pages you need in front of you. If you don't have them, go ahead and stop the video, find them, find a pencil, and when you're ready, you can push play. So I'm just going to review a few things from the week. We started the week talking about two-dimensional shapes. Two-dimensional shapes are flat, okay? They have sides that you can count. So this piece of paper would be a two-dimensional shape because it's flat. We count the sides here, okay? They have vertices, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we moved on to our three-dimensional shape. And really the only three-dimensional shape we talked about this week was the cube. And some important things to remember about a cube is that a cube is a solid shape. It's called a solid because it has volume. It can contain volume, and we can grasp it in our two hands to test that out. So a cube is three-dimensional. It's not flat. Look at the difference. Okay, two-dimensional, three-dimensional. So it is a solid. It has volume. It doesn't have sides like a two-dimensional shape. It has faces. Okay, faces are the flat parts. We have to go top, bottom, side, side, front, and back. Now, what makes a cube different from the rest of the three-dimensional shapes is that all of the cube's faces are the same shape. So they're all squares. No matter how you turn it, all the faces on a cube are squares. If we look at the rectangular prism, which I've kind of shown you a few times, we do have two faces that are squares, but the rest of them are rectangles, okay, which is why it's called a rectangular prism. But we're going to worry about this for now. So we have 6 faces. Faces are the flat sides. We have 8 vertices, okay? So I'm going to tip this to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top, and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom, okay? And remember, vertices are going to be the place where 3 edges meet. So the edges are here. So let me kind of show you. 1, 2, 3. These 3 meet and form a vertex. Okay, and more than one vertex is called a vertice. So faces are the flat shape. The vertices are the points. The edges are where 2 faces come together. So here's a face, and it meets this face, and we get this nice little straight edge, okay? Edges are tricky to count. When you count them, you have to be careful. Remember, I've told you all week, don't start turning because then you forget where. If we were in the classroom, I would go ahead and mark it with tape. I'd put a number 1 and put a piece of tape here, and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I know on video it's hard to see it without me turning it, but there are 12 edges. Okay? Face is the flat part. An edge is the place where 2 faces meet, and a vertex is a place where 3 edges come together. A cube is solid. It has volume, okay? So today, pretty quick lesson for Friday. It's kind of nice. It'll give you some time to finish up your iReady minutes. So we have an example. It says complete the example below, then solve problems 1 through 3. So here's what we're looking at. Okay, the example says, Lynn draws a shape with 6 sides. Draw a shape that could be Lynn's on the dot grid below. Number the sides and tell the name. So look at what she did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Now, what do we call a six-sided shape? That's what you have to put right here. So go back if you need to review the sheets from earlier in the week. It has examples of those, and you can tell me what that shape is. Now, typically, when we think of a six-sided shape, we don't think of this. What do we think of? What would most of you draw? But any shape that has six sides is going to be called this, and this is where your answer goes. Now you're going to try it. You're going to draw a shape. See how they use these dots as their lines or their sides? You're going to draw a shape with 5 sides, and then you're going to write the name of the shape here. Now, where it says show your work, it just means make sure that you draw a shape with 5 sides. If you draw a square, would that be correct? No, because a square has 4 sides. So make sure your shape has 5 sides. Okay, and use the dots to help you. On the next page is number 2. And you're supposed to solve this riddle. I'm going to read it to you, and then your solution or your answer is going to go right down here. It says, I have fewer sides than a pentagon. Fewer means less. So far we're thinking of a shape that has less sides than a pentagon. So in your head, think, how many sides does a pentagon have? Oh yeah, I know how many it has. This shape has to have less than that number. Number 2, I am not a quadrilateral. Okay, so our shape has to have less sides than a pentagon, but it's not a quadrilateral. Remember what quad means? Quad means 4. Quadrilateral is any shape that has 4 sides. And the last clue, or the last sentence says, what am I? So you're supposed to draw a picture of the shape that matches this riddle and then put the name of the shape right there. Remember, we're talking 2-dimensional, okay? 2-dimensional is flat. A square is 2-dimensional. A cube is 3-dimensional, so be careful when you do that. And then if you need time, go ahead and hit pause and finish that up. Number 3, it says which statement is true. It gives you 4 statements. Only one is true. Only one. And they word them kind of funny, so let's think about this. Letter A says cubes are not solid shapes. Okay, cubes are not. Is that true? A cube is not a solid shape? Letter B, cubes have 4 faces. Well, if you go back to homework from earlier in the week, there's a picture that shows how many faces a cube has. Is it 4 or is it not? Letter C, cubes have 6 faces that are the same size. Okay, so you can look at that same picture. And letter D, cubes have 6 vertices. Remember, vertices are the points where 3 edges come together. So one of those, only one, is true. Can you fill in the circle next to the one that's true? Now, after you've filled in what you believe to be true, this is what Alma did. It says Alma chose letter D as the correct answer. And letter D says cubes have exactly 6 vertices. That's what Alma said was the correct answer. How did Alma get her answer? You have to write in this space, why do you think Alma put that a cube had 6 vertices? Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue. Please remember when you're doing this assignment, the important words in geometry right now that we've talked about all week are face, vertices, and edges. So I would try in your explanation to maybe use one of those words, and it might help you get the answer. And over here, it says, up here it says, which side has fewer, which shape has fewer sides than a pentagon? You can write one if you'd like. but you just certainly don't have to. And here it says draw a cube. I saw somebody drew a cube. I think it was Garrett. Garrett drew a cube earlier in the week, and I couldn't believe it. I wish we were at school so he could teach me how to draw it so well. So awesome job, Garrett. Draw a cube, then draw an arrow that points to each corner, and label the arrows to show the number of corners. If you want to try that, go ahead and try it. It's kind of interesting. If we need help, maybe we can look it up on the internet. I'm sure somewhere it tells you how to draw a cube. But try it, see how you do. And it's been a great week. Thank you for working so hard. Most of you have your math turned in. If you don't have your iReady finished for the week, this was a short lesson, so you can go ahead and get those iReady minutes finished. Okay, I miss you guys. Have a great weekend.